So Kitty wants me to read a Neckbeard stories from the Neckbeard Story Reddit. I went for the newest one, and this is the most recent one submitted a day ago at the time of this recording, called Creepy Dude at College. So, I'm probably gonna regret this, Kitty putting me up to this. Ready, Kitty?
Don't worry,
I'm ready.
don't worry, Gonzo. I'm here for you for support.
This story from a couple of years ago might be funny to tell. I used to attend college. The first time I saw this guy, he held the door open for me, and when I thanked him, he said, "You're welcome," while staring at me with a smile. It seemed normal for now. Next thing you know, this guy somehow fell in love with me, even though he knew nothing about me. I would sometimes sit downstairs at one of the tables at the end of the day, and he would walk closer to me and stare at me because he was clearly too scared to say hello. One day I was sitting at the tables, and there he was, staring at me again. He walked around to try and get my attention. Walked from behind me, to my side, leaned forward, and literally just stood there, staring at me with wide eyes. I felt incredibly uncomfortable, so I said hi to break the awkward silence. I soon understood what a mistake that was. He didn't say hello back, but immediately asked me about the clothes I wore and proceeded to tell me that he liked anime. Then disappeared, came back, and said it was nice to meet me, and then left. Sure, he seemed nice, but since we have talked, he would sit right next to me without permission, or if I were sitting with a group of friends, he'd sit by us and listen to the conversation. At one point, he managed to find out what classroom was mine and stood outside waiting for me. One time, I sat by one of the computers, and when he noticed I didn't sit by him, he leaned back as far as he could and stared at me wide-eyed, as if he were internally screaming, "Hey, over here," and then started talking to himself in an American accent. We're, by the way, English.
Oh boy.
Oh, British line, huh? The weirdest moment was when I sat on these chairs by the stairs. He saw me sitting there and of course would walk around and stare at me to get my attention. Because I sat there for a bit, I decided to sit on the chairs facing away from the room behind a wall so I could have some privacy. What I noticed before is that he was throwing things in the bin next to him. So he decided to walk all the way over to the bin that was next to me to throw something away, even though I saw from the corner of my eye he didn't even have anything in his hand. After that, he just stood there, next to me. I glanced at him from the corner of my eye, and he wasn't looking at me, but looking at the floor, just waiting for me to notice him.
Notice me, senpai!
I continued to stare at my phone until he finally went away. Everyone else noticed his odd behavior, like sleeping on the stairs, sitting by himself in the middle of the car park. Very clear that this guy is autistic. Trust me, I'm autistic myself, but I don't use hi as an invitation to obsess over someone. It annoyed me even more because it seemed like I was the only girl he followed around. Just to add icing on the cake, a few weeks ago, I saw this guy again waiting for the bus as I drove past, and he was wearing a floor-length leather trench coat. Absolutely nothing wrong with dressing a certain way, but trench coats, anime, and autism aren't really in right now. All in all, I have no ill intentions towards this guy. Thank you for reading.
Well,
Let's go again.
all I gotta say is, girl, you better watch your back.
That was great. Oh, I loved it. Oh, that gives me life. I'm gonna go cringing hunting.